To understand one of the progressives' biggest reforms, you first have to understand the system they were fighting: patronage. For most of the 19th century, government jobs were filled with political supporters of whoever was in power. President Andrew Jackson defended this as democratic. His allies coined the phrase, "to the victor belong the spoils," giving us the term spoils system. The idea was that rotating personnel with each election kept government accountable to the people. In practice, it bred corruption. At the local level, patronage evolved into the political machine, where a boss kept power by trading jobs, contracts, and services for votes. The classic example was Tammany Hall in New York, but similar machines ran Chicago, Jersey City, and Boston. In California, the Southern Pacific's political bureau functioned as a machine in all but name, and the costs were real. Jobs went to the loyal rather than the competent, and patronage workers were often pressured to kick back part of their salaries to party campaign funds, effectively turning public payrolls into campaign war chests. The turning point came through tragedy. In 1881, President James Garfield was assassinated by a disappointed office seeker who had been denied a patronage job. The public outrage that followed powered the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act of 1883, which established the merit principle, competitive examination, as the basis for getting a federal job. It started small, covering only about 10% of federal positions, but it expanded steadily until merit-based hiring covered the overwhelming majority of the federal workforce. The act also banned shaking down workers for political contributions and protected employees from being fired for partisan reasons. California followed this path, driven by the progressives' specific hatred of the patronage that had fueled the railroad's dominance. In 1913, Governor Hiram Johnson signed the State Civil Service Act, creating a merit-based state employment system. But the commission's early effectiveness was weak, and by the 1930s, the system had eroded under Depression-era pressure, with thousands of applicants competing for each government job. So reformers took the strongest step possible. In 1934, California voters approved a constitutional amendment, writing civil service protections directly into the state constitution. That choice reflected a deep progressive conviction that ordinary laws can be undone by the next legislature, but constitutional protections are far harder to erode. The framework they built in 1934, hiring through competitive exams, protection from arbitrary dismissal, insulation from partisan demands, is still substantially intact today. The trade-off, of course, was a more professional, but less politically responsive bureaucracy, a tension public administration still wrestles with.